So what we're going to do with Luna today is we're just going to go ahead and start off by teaching her the code. The code is the simple binary language that we use to communicate with these horses. It's very simple for them to understand. And the reason that it's simple is because, like I said, it's binary. It's either on or off. And the code says very simply, if you're giving me your attention, I won't put any pressure on you. But if you're not giving me your attention, I'm going to apply some pressure and you're going to have to move your feet. And in more simple terms, it's if your nose is closer than your tail, you get to rest. And if your tail is closer than your nose, then you have to work. So I'm kind of losing it right there. So I just kind of flipped my flag and I got some attention. And so I'm going to respect the code, right? That's what I'm going to expect from her. And that's what I'm going to teach her that she can expect from me. Right? So that's what our goal is today. So her tail is closer to me than her nose. And so I'm going to apply pressure. Nice, quiet, easy pressure. I'm not going to turn this into a big battle. Right? And when she looks at me with two eyes, then I'm going to release that pressure. It's just as simple as that. And as she sort of, there we go. There. That's it. I don't know if you could tell, but I was changing my posture little by little as things were going along there because I felt like her tail was moving away from me and her nose was moving towards me. Even though she wasn't looking at me with two eyes, her nose began to drift towards me. And so I just started to subtly release that pressure. There I see some licking and chewing, which is really important. I always want to see some licking and chewing before I move forward. Sometimes you have to wait a while to get it. Sometimes you have to release, with some horses, you have to release all of the pressure. And sometimes I'll even go to the outside of the pen and just squat down in the shade somewhere and just forget about the horse until they can relax a little bit, because some horses can take the pressure and others can't, you know. But I love to see them acting like a young horse. I mean, that's just, gosh, that's what brings me joy, you know. That bucking and farting and carrying on. Don't let that bother you. If your horse is going around doing that stuff, don't let that stuff bother you. Just let them be a horse. It doesn't mean that they're going to try to buck you off. They're not making a habit out of bucking. They're just being a horse, right? I always say you got to let a horse be a horse. Oh, that's beautiful right there. Yes, it is. So, going back to the 5 pillars. Start quiet, end quiet. I feel like we've pretty well done that. The next pillar is get the fresh off. So, we want to start quiet and end quiet because we want the horse to look forward to coming into the pen, right? And if we start each training session nice and quiet and easy and friendly, then she'll look forward to coming in here. And if we end them on with the same type of attitude, then we're just going to be promoting that good attitude all the time, right? Every time she comes in here, she'll know that it's not going to be a bad experience. It's just going to be a little bit of work. She'll learn. I'll listen to her. I'll learn. We'll all have a good time and nobody's going to get upset, right? As that tail comes into view, I just hustle those feet, right? And over the course of the next several days, we're going to teach Luna to never turn her tail to me, never stop looking at me, always give me her attention 100% of the time. And that's the biggest part of the foundation, guys. The code is the most important part of a horse's foundation, because if you can't get their attention from the ground loose, you can't get their attention sitting on their back. At least you can't get the kind of attention that you want, you know. You might get the kind of attention that a wildcat would get sitting on her back, but you're not going to get the kind of attention that you can use to teach her things. So we build that foundation in them right now. And it'll stay with her the rest of her life. It's very difficult to take a really good foundation out of a horse. Even if you're a terrible rider, that foundation will still be there, and a person will always be able to come back to it to help the horse through their problems, you know. Now, I don't chase her, I don't confront her. I try to avoid any kind of power struggle at all. Try to stick to those 5 principles. And I just let them be a horse. Okay, we're just introducing her to the pull of this snaffle bit, what it's going to feel like. I'm a firm believer in introducing this snaffle bit and the pressure from it very slowly. Over time, I find that if I do that, I can eliminate the bit being a distraction for the horse, right? When I run into problems later on and I'm wondering, well, what's causing this? Well, I can eliminate that as a potential problem because I know that the horse is accustomed to wearing it, and it's not so uncomfortable and foreign to them anymore. So I'm just holding, that's like 2 pounds of pressure. She's resisting it a little bit, not much. Okay, there. Every time she comes around to the right, she gets a release of that pressure. Right there. Very good. A little bit more. Good. Very good. Nice. Oh, good. I release that. Get her to move her feet again. Pull it tight. Release. Oh, just right. Now let's slide it back just a little bit. There's a spot. I'm just going to hold light pressure on that, guys. When she relaxes, I'll turn it loose. Perfect. Licking and chewing. Awesome. Get those feet moving again. Oh, look at that. You know, her mama never did buck, not once. Never even offered to buck. So I'll be surprised. And I don't think any of her babies ever have. So I'll be surprised if Luna does. But I darn sure want to make sure that she knows that bucking is an undesirable and unsavory activity, right? And this is how we do this. We go ahead and flank them. And as soon as she quits bucking, there's a complete release. You see that? Good girl. Good girl. Now I'm going to come in with the flag. Touch her a little more with that flag some. Put it down here and see if we're overstimulating her. Oh, she wanted to strike. That was a half-hearted strike right there. So that's good. That's real good. Really liking what I'm seeing. Good. Really good. So that's enough of that, okay? Why would I quit right there? Well, because I started the lesson. She started down the road of not ever bucking, right? She's learned right there that maybe bucking's not all that fun, and we're going down that road. So if I continue, I've had some success. So if I continue, I'm leaving that door open for failure, and I don't want to do that. I'm just going to quit right there and say, hey, we're the world champions at not bucking today. When I approach her with this saddle, I want to be in front of this balance point, and I want to set this saddle up here kind of like that, up on her wither, like up in the middle of her wither, so that I don't want to be back there, because if I spook her and she shoots forward, she could kick me real easy. And I don't want to expose myself to that. So I stay up here. I keep kind of a short grab on this lead, and then I just real deliberately just set it up there, rock it around, and then let her follow it. Okay, don't sneak. All right, don't sneak this thing around. Let her know about it. Let her get used to it, just like the snaffle bit. Let her get accustomed to it. Okay. And I see that all this prep work that we've done is really helping. Now she might surprise me, but so far it's going really good. So when I finally get ready to go ahead and cinch it down, when they go back there to check on it, just make sure you keep your hand up there. Hold on to it. Gonna keep a short grab on this lead and just let my rigging down. And I'm not going to sneak, guys. I'm still kind of being real deliberate. I'm being real transparent with everything that I'm doing. And you want to be, because you want them to be able to trust you, right? If you're sneaking around, nobody's going to trust you. A lot of horses will hop around the first few times they wear a saddle. It's to be expected. It's something that's completely foreign to them. And I'm not going to crucify them for it. I want a horse to be a horse, you know? And so if she wants to hop around a little bit, by all means, go ahead. Knock yourself out. I want her to learn now that all that silliness is not fun and it's not productive. This is my opportunity to do that. So then I just go back, put her back to work the same way that she's used to working. Nothing changes. It's just that now we're doing all this stuff with the saddle on, right? The concept of pressure and release based on where her attention is has transferred from my body posture to the snaffle bit. It works amazing. Horses can put 2 and 2 together. They figure that out pretty quick. And what we end up with is a horse that never really wants to break the code, right? Because they don't want to feel the pressure of that snaffle bit, like right there. And they will give you their attention while they're moving their feet, which is what we really want. And this is what I want. I want control. When I step up in that saddle the very first time, I want control. I want her to understand what that snaffle bit means before I get up there. I don't want to have to go to things like disengaging the hindquarters or pulling a one rein stop in order to save my own hide, right? I want her to understand. Yeah, I can't think of a horse that I haven't been able to put that first ride on in 10 days. Sure, it's probably happened, but 10 days is pretty good. Pretty good, gives you a pretty good window of opportunity getting a horse ready to ride for the first time. So I'm just checking all my gear here, making sure nothing's pinching her, making sure nothing's tucked under or doubled under or anything like that. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and, you see where I am, right? I'm in front of the balance point. My knee is right here in her shoulder. I'm gonna shorten up this inside rein. Left hand on the neck or on the cheek. I don't think I need to cheek her, but left hand on the neck, right hand on the horn, left knee in the shoulder there. 3 or 4 bounces. Get on up there. Get out. And there's ride number 1. Ta-da! Ride number 1 is done. Go ahead. Good. Good. Oh, that's it right there. Yes, ma'am. Good job. Let's go the other way. Go ahead, Lily. Oh man, that feels so good right there. So I send her out, draw her back. Send her out, draw her back. You kind of want to work a triangle or a square in these drive lines. Anytime you're lunging, I don't ever expect my horses to work in a circle. It's a series of straight lines, because I'm trying to teach them that the snaffle bit means, hey, look at me, right? Look at boat right. So I'm going to send her out and draw her back. Send her out, draw her back. She's working basically in straight lines, right? It's not, you know, they'll find the circle on their own. Don't try to hold them in the circle. Let them go out there. Let them make the mistakes. And then let them find you. You know, that's the whole point. I want her to find me and stay on me. I like the fact she's much quieter with that snaffle bit today. You guys notice that? She's not putting her tongue over it. She's not playing with it endlessly. Now, I'm not saying it won't come back, but that's the advantage of wearing that snaffle bit and learning it and just getting comfortable with it. Man, that stop is getting so big. Just let her go out there and run into that thing. Let it bring her back. Ho. Boy, I'm really liking that a lot, guys. You see how she's making more circular tracks now. It's not a bunch of straight lines and just 90-degree turns. That's what we're looking for. You know, this is one of the most difficult things to do with the horses, to get them to travel around in these nice, easy, soft circles with their nose to the inside and their shoulder up. So why not teach it to them on the ground, right? This is the perfect way to do it. I'd like to make one trip around this pin. You got to get this speed control before you see her kind of cutting the pin off. She's cutting across the pin. I'll explain that a little bit. Cutting the pin off means that she's not staying to the outside. She's cutting across the middle of the pin. And I'm not going to try, later on, I'm going to try to discourage that. But right now, what I'm looking for is the speed control. And I want to stay focused on one thing until I get it. Then we can worry about staying to the outside of the pin, etc. And it's just this jog is all we're doing. I prefer the jog, you know. You don't have to, you can do it at a walk. I just really liked the rhythm and the cadence of this jog. Oh, that's good right there. See, she stayed there without me having to ask multiple times. So I'll let her stop. Hoo. Good. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave my spurs on and just be real cautious about them. Make sure I don't grab her with them. Now you may notice that I don't make a big deal about these horses standing dead still while I get on these first few times. And there's a reason for that. And the reason is this. I don't want them to lock their feet down when I first get on, because if they think they've got to stand perfectly still, then I'm going to have to kick them and spank them or flag them to make them go. And I don't want that. Remember, we're trying to build calm, confident, quiet forward motion. And if I am making a big deal about them moving their feet, as soon as I get on, well, then I've got to turn around and contradict myself and say, okay, now move your feet. I'd rather them quietly just sort of walk forward as I'm getting on or right after I get on than to have them convinced that they've got to have their feet stuck in the ground. Oh, that's a nice, light, easy little jog right there, like that. Okay, now, I'm going to start holding her feet to the fire a little bit and saying, hey, we got to keep going. Just letting my legs bounce against her sides, my boot tops. I'm not kicking her. I'm just letting them bounce. You've got to let your horses know that your legs mean them no harm. And if you protect them by never letting your legs touch them, well, they never really get used to them. If I ever want a horse to be desensitized to something, it's kind of to my legs. Not that I truly want them desensitized. I just want them to really, really accept those legs. When she starts to cut that pin off, I'm going to bring her all the way back. This is where we start this. Start over again. Okay, this is teaching her to stay between my reins and my legs. I don't want her cutting across the pin. I want her to stay right between my reins and my legs, right? If she's making the decision on where we go, then she's not broke. So we got to start going there. And what I do is as soon as they try to cut across this pin just like that, I just bring them back, keep that forward motion going to where they started to cut the pin across, and then start over again with them. Hey guys, I'm in here with Luna today, and Luna's got a little issue with putting the bridle on and things kind of being around her muzzle and stuff, and so I'm going to show you how I'm going to deal with that. You see, whenever you see that, that's what I'm talking about. Whenever I sort of come at her with the snaffle bit, she just avoids it, and she's not real ugly about it, but if we don't address this, it could get real ugly. What I've been doing up to this point is I've just been ignoring it, but it hasn't gotten any better. So this is how I'm going to deal with this going forward. So what we want to do is we want to start by scaffolding this, okay? We want to teach her to come off the pressure of this halter and reach, okay? Reach for me when she feels pressure on that halter. You see that? That's what we want. You see, we've already done this a good bit, so she's pretty good with it. She's not 100%, but, and what I'm doing is I'm watching her eye more than anything. Okay, she's got this band of white around her eye right there. And when I put pressure on this halter, what I'm looking for is for that band of white to start to disappear. That tells me that her eye is starting to look in my direction. And the reason I want the eye to look in my direction when I pull on this, I don't want just give, right? I don't want them to give to me. It's not about give, it's about reach, right? I want to communicate to her, hey, Luna, look over here, right? And that's when I release the pressure, when she looks over here. And so what I'm gonna do is now I'll put a little, offer that feel to her, and then I'll offer the snaffle bit. There, did you see her reach for that? Gosh, I love that. Thank you, Luna. Good job. I want her to reach down and pick that snaffle bit up, and she will eventually. Ask her to reach for this snaffle bit before I even offer it to her. Right there, you see her ears come forward right there? Oh, look at that, look. No. That's what I'm looking for, I want her. There, right there, good girl. That's it. Look at her picking that thing up. Guys, that's what we're looking for right there. She's really reaching for it. She started licking and chewing in anticipation. I love that so much. That is so cool. So she's just an easy filly, even though we've got that little issue with her. It's easy to fix. You know, not all horses are that easy to fix, but the fix is the same. It's just that it might take more time for another horse. But sit square in the middle and open that inside door. Oh, that's good right there. She didn't cut that pin off that time. So I'm going to let her come to the middle and sit. Oh. And I like that stop. You know, very seldom do I have to just pull a horse to a stop in the beginning. And I don't want to. I want her to understand to stop off of my seat, right? And what that looks like, the guy that taught me is basically you just quit riding. You know, you just quit riding there. And then they're already looking for a stop, or they should be if you've got everything coming along the right way. They'll already be looking for that stop. And so you're just going to let them stop. See if I've got a little bit of draw this time. Left foot back, right foot, left foot, right foot. That's pretty good. Go forward. I really like the way she's staying to the outside of the pen. She's not ducking in and trying to cut it off, so I'm going to bring her across right here. Oh yeah, just quit riding. She comes to a complete stop. I'm going to draw her back. Go back the other way a little bit. I'm going to practice my steering guide before I get out of here. Just kind of guide her around this round pen, because when I go out, this is what I'm going to do. She's losing the life in her feet. I don't want her to do that. I just love all this nice, easy, smooth forward motion, even if I'm pulling on her. She starts to lose the life a little bit, but she's not getting upset, and she lets me guide her, you know, and that's what I want. There, just quit riding and let her stop. Good girl. What do you think, Luna? You ready to go outside, huh? You ready to graduate? There we go. Now, she doesn't have any gait skills, obviously. She's never even ridden up to a gate. This will be the very first time. So, and this is not to show off or anything like that, guys. But gait skills are something that you really have to give to your horse. You really have to be proactive about teaching them good gait manners and how to handle a gait. I'm just going to be quiet and easy. If you come out here and you're upset and excited, you better believe the horse is going to get upset and excited. Okay, it's got to be the same out here as it was in there. It's got to be exactly the same, because you've established that. Like, that's okay, that's your relationship with the horse. You don't change the nature of the relationship just because you come outside, right? If you do that, then the horse is like, wait a minute. What in the heck? What was all that in the round pen, and now out here it's something completely different, you know? You know, it used to be such a mystery, like, what's that first ride going to be? And we always just want to get it done, like, get them outside, get them out of that round pen, get them outside, show them some country, and really hit bottom on them so that we know that they're not going to try to kill us outside, you know, outside the round pen. So, but since I started doing it this way, I just haven't had any trouble. So I tell you what, I'm just going to quit her right there, and there we go. Good girl.